I had a training program for 12 years, over 500 young men in one of the hardest places to train in Brooklyn. It was Bed-Stuy, Brownsville, East New York, Flatbush, Canarsie. So many gang issues. The Wu versus the Cho. That to me is the most gangster shit ever. When your kids can walk around your hood and nobody mess with them because they know that they dad look out for everybody. That to me is like the most masculine thing ever. And to believe that they can walk out in the world like their white counterparts and be treated the same. It's just not the fact.
Yeah, I guess it's something I never really considered. Like, I'm thinking about what they aren't seeing, but I'm not thinking about the fact that they just want something that to them is bigger than life, so that people care about them.
Yes,
and
they
that
want
they feel
people
like
to
they
care.
matter.
Everything you just said is the reason why so many young people walk around looking like they feel like they don't matter. And think about the images that they see every day. Every day they pick up a Instagram post or something. They're showing another young black person being murdered or something happened and nobody caring.
Yeah.
And that's why I said we got to put the phones down, because when you keep seeing these negative ideas of who you are, these negative stereotypes, even if they're supposed to help, right? Some people can make a mistake publicly and be told it's okay. Then
We
others,
forgive you. We
we forgive you.
understand.
Understand? You know, you're a young man. You know, you have your whole life ahead of you. Then I'm gonna be frank. Black men in particular do not get that same leniency. From the time you start going through puberty and you're taller than your counterparts, now you're considered a man. That's why so many young black men are facing adult jail time for making the same mistake as their white counterparts. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
80% of the jail population are black men, who over 80% of that population took plea deals not to have to do more time.
So the odds are stacked against them
the odds
anyway.
are stacked.
I also know with men who are lost, whether they're young or old, another thing that I've heard a lot of men tell me when I ask them about what they want out of life, sometimes they feel like they never even saw an example of this other thing. So their view was so limited.
Absolutely.
And that sucks. I'm sure that your kids are fortunate enough to be able to see a lot of different things. Do you have any advice maybe that you could suggest to other fathers on how to maybe expose their kids to more so that they can dream bigger?
That's a great question, and I'm glad you asked that. One thing my father did was expose me to things. We went on a ski trip every February. We would go to the Poconos for spring break. Summertime, I went to Morristown, Tennessee. He introduced me to black men that did different things. One thing I can say, I never saw sports or music or drugs or rapping as my only way out, because my dad showed me other ways. So I think that the first thing we have to do is not stop glorifying only one way to, I don't want to say become rich, but we have to give black men other opportunities to be held to a high standard. I still struggled in college with like, dang, there's so many other women, but I knew I had something good. So you got to use discernment and make right choices, you know? So, and I'm not going to sit here and lie to people and make it seem like I always made the right choice for us. There were times where I was selfish and made choices for myself. And what also made me realize that I loved her was that she allowed me to make choices for myself and didn't judge me. So when I asked her what choices she needed to make for herself, she made choices for herself and I didn't judge her. And sometimes those choices involved other people that you got to realize, do I want her to be with somebody else? Nah.
Yeah.
So if I don't, I got to make that decision too. You know what I'm saying? Because we had that time in college, like, yo, I don't want to be with nobody. I don't want to be with you. I got other chicks I'm trying to deal with. And she's like, well, I ain't want to be nobody's girlfriend either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she was like, fine, Devale. So I was like, fine. We leave each other for 30 minutes.
Couldn't even last 30 minutes.
Or we don't even leave each other. We have this conversation in the car. And we're like, you know what? I think we should give each other space. Like, I'm going to drop you to your parents. She's like, okay, bet. So we get to her parents' house. I'm in the car. I'm like, all right. She's like, all right, I'm leaving. I'm like, all right. Open the door. And she opened the door. She get out, close the door. The whole time I'm thinking, like, when she getting back in the car.
Right.
She walk across the front. I'm looking at her. She looking at me. I'm like,
what you gonna do?
Then she get to the other side. She's like, you really gonna let me leave? I'm like, man, get your ass back in the car. Then we drive off back to the dorm. You know, like, I knew it was her. I knew. I just had to mature into being the version of a man that she needed. And she'll tell you she had to mature into being the version of a woman that I needed. And it took time. So I think it's important for couples to realize, like, there's no one moment where everything happens perfectly.
Yeah.
You take time and you make decisions and you make choices and you build with each other.
And give each other a little grace to learn.
Yeah, grace and boundaries at the same time. For me, people always struggle with that. It's like, how do I know how much grace to give? And I'm like, you have to try to use discernment to understand someone's intent.
Yeah.
You know, intent versus impact. If I do something and it hurts you, but you know that I was trying my best to do something good, that's a different intent and impact. But if you know that I was really trying to hurt you, put boundaries on that person.
Yeah.
You can give grace to the person that you knew had good intentions, you know? So that's what I say about that.
Yeah. And then now, your relationship now, how what's the dynamic like between you guys? I know you work together on a lot of stuff, and then you have these wonderful kids and businesses and things. How do y'all work, and how do you kind of define the roles that y'all have in the relationship?
Our marriage is run like a business.
Okay.
Because I'm big on wealth building. So when it comes to finances, we do everything together. Like we do everything together. Everything comes into our business account, then it goes down into our trust, then our family account. She gets her salary, I get my salary. All of our wealth building is already set up for our kids, so we don't have to worry about actively saving for them because all of that is already, built in. So financially, it's built like a business.
Okay.
But spiritually and emotionally, that's my best friend. My best friend. I don't do anything without her. She don't do anything without me. We got Life 360. I don't gotta hide my phone. I don't, you know what I'm saying? She know all my codes. I know all her codes. That doesn't work for everybody because certain people have different ideals. That works for us. If something were to happen to me today, give my wife my phone, she'll get into it and she'll know how to manage everything because she knows what needs to get done. I can't have secrets from my wife. My wife can't have secrets from me. We have a very unhealthy codependency for each other, but it works for us.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because people often watch us and say, well, that wouldn't work for me. That wouldn't work for me. What we're saying works for us is we're not saying that it has to work for everybody. It works for us.
And this is an example that you can try if you're trying to figure it out.
Right. And if it don't work for you, mark that down as, what the Ellises do there don't work for me. You learn something. And that's why we hate the whole couple goals thing. Because it ain't about act like us. It's not about that. It's just look at the example of two people trying their hardest to figure it out. And you do the same thing with whatever ideals you want.